welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're looking at Finding Faeries by Alex Rowland. Now you'll notice that the bar cart is a bit fuller than usual today, and that's because this is the first of what will be a somewhat irregular occurrence here on the channel, a double feature. I find sometimes when I'm reading that I am inspired to make more than one drink for the book. And when that happens, we'll have a double feature. One of the drinks in all of our double features will be a mocktail, and one will be a cocktail. So in these weeks, we'll be sure to have something for every taste. And with that in mind, why don't we chat a bit about the book and get making these drinks. Finding Faeries is a charmingly slim little volume in the tradition of Dragonology and The Resurrectionist, this blend of the fantastical and the pseudo-academic, where Rowland has taken figures from world folklore and their own creations, including my personal favorite, the luck pigeon, and offered to the reader a world in which were fairies around to be found, you could know just exactly where to look for them. And I wanted to provide drinks for every sort of fae spotter, from the very beginner all the way up to the experienced fae spotter who knows exactly how to deal with fairies and their kind. So why don't we get started and make these drinks here. The first, our mocktail, the Novice fae spotter, is a lemonade-style drink. Nice and bright, perfect for the summer, for going out into the garden and looking for flower fairies. It's very refreshing. So we start with a half an ounce of grenadine. I make my own, but certainly there are some that are excellent, out and available in the wider market. I would say don't get ones that just are the color red, because then the only thing that they're adding is color and not the rich, bright pomegranate flavor that we're looking for in a grenadine. Our next ingredient, we've got another half ounce, this time of orgeat and almond syrup. It's popular in tiki cocktails, but I find it really widely versatile. Accidents do happen. And I use it all the time. Orgeat is a just wonderful ingredient to play around with. It's nutty, it's floral, it's light. It's going to bring some real dynamism to any drink you're using it in. And then to balance those out, we do want some of that citrusy brightness. I've got a full ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Good. And then, because we like bitters here, we're going to add some grapefruit bitters to add a bit more depth, a bit more complexity to our Novice fae spotter lemonade. The bitters that I'm using are the grapefruit bitters from the Bitter Housewife. Get a good 4 dashes in there so they really don't hide. And these are a wonderful bitters. They're light but still citrusy and bright, and complex in the way that all the best grapefruit is. They are made with alcohol, and so in order for the drink to be completely alcohol-free, I would recommend leaving those out. They are not adding any sort of significant amount of alcohol, so you certainly should feel free to use them, barring any allergy. And so now we've got all of our ingredients in our shaker. We're going to add our ice. We always add our ice last. And we'll get that in there. Good. A few. Tap it, seal it with the flat of your hand, and shake it on up. Perfect. Now we'll get that cap off. Wonderful. Ooh, it's so frothy in there. And I want some fresh ice cubes in my highball glass that I'm using so that it stays really cool and refreshing. Wonderful. Get my hawthorn strainer and strain that one in. And then, once we've got all of our cocktail in there, we're going to want to top that with some soda water right here. A nice, refreshing, pink drink for going out into the garden and finding your flower fairies, the Novice Face Spotter. Delicious. And so, we've got our mocktail, but sometimes you're a bit more into the face spotting. You've delved deeper, you've gone beyond the novice status, and you have entered into the Green Fairy's garden. The Green Fairy, the so-called spirit of absinthe, is a figure that emerged in the 19th century as part of the marketing for absinthe and a part of the glamour around that spirit. It's an excellent sort of addition to the fairy canon, albeit slightly more modern than many of the folkloric figures discussed in the book. And so we are going to have, in the Green Fairy's garden, our cocktail of the week. I'm going to start with a bit of absinthe, because you have to have absinthe in the Green Fairy's garden. And I am going to add just a little bit of this to my cocktail glass. And this is because we want to get a rinse of the absinthe. You just want to coat the inside of that glass. Absinthe is a very potent ingredient. It's going to add a lot of flavor and a lot of intensity very easily and very quickly, so you do want to use it sparingly a lot of the time. And then once we've done that, we'll just discard the rest and get on to the mixing of the rest of our cocktail. Now, we've got our gin here. I'm using a Magellan gin. It's got some iris root in it, and it has this lovely blue color, which is fun. And we'll get 2 ounces of that. This is definitely in the category of drinks that you enjoy after you've read, and instead of while you are reading. So we've got our gin, 2 ounces of that in there. And then for our sweetener, we have a basil liqueur. This is one that I made myself, and I highly recommend for the spring and the summer. And we're going to get an ounce of that in there. Most of our standard cocktails are going to be about 3 ounces of liquid to start with, and then you'll find that as you stir or shake, they'll dilute to about 4.5 or so. Then we've got our bitters, because we love our bitters, and the bitters that we're using for this one are the lavender bitters from Scrappy's in Seattle, Washington. They're adding some more floral notes, some more herbal notes, just really layering the herbal components of the drink. And we'll get that in there. 1, 2, 3. Excellent, excellent. And then we'll add our ice. Nice large chunk of ice there. I enjoyed the literalization of the fairies of excess and of spirits that Rowland talks about in the book. I'm going to give this a nice good stir. I really want to get the drink diluted and let those flavors meld, turn all lovely and light with the added water from the melting ice. Wonderful. Nice good stir. And then we'll take our julep strainer on there. Get our glass with the absinthe rinse and strain. There. Lovely. And as you can see now, it's a beautiful green color, very refreshing. You can smell the absinthe, you can smell the lavender, you can smell the basil. Oh, just delicious. So, that's our first double feature, looking at Finding Faeries by Alex Rowland, a wonderful addition to your coffee table or your bookshelf. I really enjoyed it. You should check it out. Try the drinks, the cocktail and the mocktail. Let me know what you think. Remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, cheers.